Good morning, lovelies. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Sundays with Saying. Glad to have you with me today. I want you to like my channel, subscribe to it, invite your family and friends to join in with us on Sunday mornings as we start our week out right with our weekly devotional. And last week I mentioned to you that today we would be talking about making declarations for 2024. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So get you some paper. If you don't have any near you, grab a pen and some paper because you will need to write down some things. I don't know if you have ever done this before, but this is what I did with the group that's led by Dr. Sandra Smith. We wrote out our declarations for 2024, so I thought that this would be something I could share with you guys and just help you plan for your 2024. So we know that God created the world with words. And each day he would say, let there be. So since God created us, we are creative beings like him. So we are going to make some declarations and declare what we want to see in 2024. So that's what this is all about this morning, just getting your declarations together and just thinking about how you want to see your 2024. And we will get started with reading the verses out of Genesis like God did. You know, that's the creation in Genesis. So that's what we're going to do is just read those verses. And let me get mine pulled up. And what I'll do is just read each section of the verse, and then we'll talk about it, and we'll give you a few minutes to write down your declaration. And I know you'll have to go back and just kind of think about it and add to it or what have you, because you won't really have time to do it in this session. You may not have time, let me put it like that. But I will give you a little bit of time in between each one to write down your thoughts. So when God created the world, he spoke it into being by saying, let there be. As we look forward to 2024, we'll develop 7 let there be statements in alignment with how God created the world. We'll create our 2024 by speaking declarations over our lives. So we're going to start with Genesis 1 through 5. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. So the first statement is let there be light. Light could include wisdom. It might include revelation. It could include knowledge. So just think about areas that you have in your life where you might think that you need more wisdom in that area, or something where you need God to reveal something to you. You need a revelation, or you need some more knowledge in a particular area. So I want you to just take a minute to formulate your statement beginning with, excuse me, let there be light. So I'm just going to hold out just for a few seconds, because since you're not here live with me, we can't kind of talk about what's going on. But I'll give you a few seconds to just think about areas that you might need some wisdom and knowledge. And you're going to start your statement or your declaration with, let there be light in whatever. Okay, so I know I'm not giving you a whole lot of time, but to just kind of get your creative juices flowing. So there's an example. I'll give an example for each one. Some of them are my examples of what I wrote down. Some of them may be some examples from others who were in the group. But just to kind of give you an idea of what we said. So the example for this one is, let there be light in the wisdom of developing a strategy on implementing, promoting, and maintaining Bella Vita empowerment coaching. So, and actually that one's mine, since Bella Vita empowerment coaching is my new coaching program. And I do need some wisdom and knowledge and getting that off the ground and getting it all developed. So I need light in that situation. So that's an example of how you can set up your declaration for this particular part on Let There Be Light. Okay. So now we will continue. And God said, let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. So God made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. God called the vault sky, and there was evening, and there was morning the second day. Now, in this one, these verses are regarding separating things from one area and gathering in another area. So just think about anything in your life that you feel like you need to have separated away. And what do you need have to pull together, gather together? Something that needs to be separated. If you have something going on that you had going on in 2023 that you think, oh no, I don't need to bring this into 2024. Let me just pull this back. Okay, so the example I have for this one is, and we know we're starting this with, let there be a separation of. So let there be a separation of all things sent to hinder my family, and a coming together of all things for good. So you're separating those things that are hindering the family from progressing forward. So that's an example of how you can use that statement. Let's moving on. Now we're on Genesis 1 and 9. And God said, let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds. And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with their seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. Okay. Now, these verses deal with fruitfulness. Think about areas in your life where you may need to see fruitfulness. Are there areas that you feel are dried up and need to be revitalized? Or there just some things that went on in 2023 that you feel you need to kind of get a fresh start in? Just think about that. Let there be fruit in whatever area that you're thinking about, where you need to see some fruit. I keep thinking about that dun, 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 the Jeopardy music while I'm sitting here waiting. So I know I'm not giving you a lot of time in between, but you can always go back and watch this video and go back through and take some more time to just formulate your declarations. So the example on this one is, let there be fruitfulness in my study of God's word and the ability to share it clearly and concisely with others. So that is the example of an area where there's some fruit needed. Okay? All right, we'll move on to Genesis 1 and 14. And God said, let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth. And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. And I didn't mention to you guys that I am reading from the NIV version, if you wanted to know where I'm reading from. So this was the fourth day. These verses are specifically referencing the light that is in you. Think about your purpose or your destiny and how you will impact others. So think about something that's in you, the light that's inside of you, how you're going to bring that out to have an impact on other people. So just kind of think about that when this is our second let there be light, but it's a little different because this one is talking about what you have inside of you that you're bringing out that's going to help other people. So kind of think about that for a few seconds. What do you have in you that's going to help others? Okay, so this statement, let there be light in blank to accomplish whatever. So my example is, let there be light in my coaching, writing, and speaking to relate to others the importance of self-worth and self-care. So this is my personal example. Whatever I have inside of me, the light inside of me with coaching and writing and speaking, I'll be able to bring that up out of me to make an impact in somebody else's life, to let them know how important they are, how to look at themselves and know that they are worthy and that they need to provide the self-care for themselves. You know, they've been caring for others, but now it's the time to just realize that they need some of that care also. Self-care is important, and you're worthy of that self-care. So that light in me will come out to help others. So just think about, what is it that you have inside of you that's going to be used to help other people. All right, let's move on to the next one. And God said, let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. Okay, so this one, it tells us that God is a creative God. I mentioned that earlier. And that we were created by God in his image. So our words have power, like God's word have power, because we were created in his image. So when we release our statements, our declaration statements, our words should align with his words. So this one is, let there be a release of creative ideas for whatever. Okay, let there be a release of creative ideas. What are some areas that you're interested in where you need to just get your creative juices flowing to get you going? Would you like to open a business? Would you like to write a play? Would you like to write a book? Would you like to be a fashion consultant? There are a lot of things that you're probably thinking about. Yeah, I would like to do that. Is it something that you like doing that you could maybe teach someone else how to do it? So just think about it. There's some things that I'm sure y'all been thinking about. So you're going to declare that you're going to have a release of creative ideas for that, whatever it is, in 2024. Okay, so the example I have for this one is, let there be a release of creative ideas on how to attract the sheep that God has ordained for me to shepherd. So yeah, that one is mine. Because there are people out there that are listening to hear my voice. My voice is the answer to whatever their situation is or whatever problem it is. I've been put here to actually be the one to speak the word into them. So I need some creative ideas on how to attract my sheep, so they'll know that I am the shepherd that's here for them. So that was my example of where I need some creative juices flowing. Now we go to Genesis 26. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all creatures that move along the ground. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has breath of life in it, I give every green plant for food. And it was so. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. And just to point out that when God created everything else, he said it was good. But take note now, when he created man, he said it was very good. So, hey, y'all, we are very good. So now this one, let's see. These verses speak to relationships. So do you need some new relationships? Do you need to sever some relationships? Because, sometimes you just got to leave folks back there. Everybody can go. Because you're trying to move forward and they still trying to hold you back. So, sometimes you just got to let it go. Just red tag them and just let them go. So just think about that. Do you need favor in certain circumstances? Just kind of do a quick review of what you might need as far as relationships. So you say, let there be whatever as it relates to relationships. Just think about relationships that you've had in 2023, some that, like I said, you may need to sever. There may be some new relationships that you want to start in 2024. There may be some areas where you feel like you need favor. So let's just think about that for a few seconds. Okay, so the example for this one is, let there be an abundance of divine favor in all my relationships as the garments of favor rest upon me and cover me as a shield. Okay, and like I said, I know y'all are going to need some more time to think about these, because I'm not giving you a whole lot of time to think about it and write down your declaration statement, but this will get you started. So you can go back and go through the video again and just go step by step as you create your 7 declaration statements. So let's go to the last one. You have 6 already. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. So God finished his work, and now it was time to rest. Think about how you define rest, and what do you need to do to feel like you are resting? Rest may look different for different people, and not for this video, but at another time, I will talk about the 7 different types of rest. And I think I've probably already done that at some point in one of my videos, but this is something that's ongoing that we need to really look at and realize that there are different types of rest, and you may be rested in one area but not rested in another area. So on this declaration, I want you to just think about how you need to rest, or what you can do to rest. So your statement will just be, let there be, and then you write down how you see rest, or what you can do to rest in 2024. So an example statement is, let there be balance and rest in every dimension of life with a daily fresh renewal. And you may say, let there be a balance in my work life and my personal life, because maybe you feel like you're maybe working too much and not doing what you need to do with your family. You might say that let there be a peace as you say no, in your way of trying to get rest, if somebody's asking you to do stuff all the time. So you may just say, let there be peace in my no, as I do whatever it is you're doing to rest. So just kind of think about what you feel like you need to do to rest, and make that declaration statement align with what needs to happen, or what doesn't need to happen, in order for you to get the rest that you need in 2024. Because y'all, we gotta come on with it in 2024. We ain't gonna just let things happen to us. We're gonna be live life on purpose and not just let stuff happen. Okay, so just think about that the rest one. So you have written your Genesis for 2024. So what I need you to do after you go back and look at it and kind of sculpt it to how you want it to be, just put it somewhere where you can see it all the time. You can, if you have Canva, you might want to type it up real pretty and maybe just post it somewhere. You can have it on your lock screen for your computer or your phone or whatever. Just make sure you have it someplace where you can see it and just kind of remind you and jog your memory of what you have declared to happen in your 2024. And sometimes people do vision boards also. And so if you want to do a vision board and put it on your vision board, that works as well. And I do have a couple of resources that I'll put the link in the description. So just writing down goals. Crystal Evans Hurst has a guide for reflecting on 2023. And it's just like 3 pages where you can just reflect back on what happened in 2023 and look at your view of 2024. And also the year compass and I know this is probably backwards, but this gives you an opportunity to look at things that happen in 2023 and things that you want to happen in 2024. It asks different questions about the things that happens, the different values and things of that nature. It's a good way for you to reflect back on 2023 and prepare for 2024. So I'll have the links in the description so you guys can go in and download these documents just to help you as you look forward to 2024, help you kind of think about your goals of things that you want to accomplish. You've gone through the process of making declarations. So we just want to make sure that we're fully grounded and we've thought about what we want to happen in our 2024. We don't want to just let life happen. Like I said, we're going to live life on purpose. And that is my devotional for today. I hope you have found it helpful. When I went through the process, I just thought that it was a really good process, and I wanted to share it with my family. So repeat after me or say it with me. I am one and only one. I can't do all things, but I can do some things. That I can do, I will do. And by the grace, look, y'all got me messing up. That I can do, I ought to do. And by the grace of God, I will do it. I only been saying this for years. But I guess I'm just so excited about 2024. I'm just getting it all twisted up. But y'all know, because we say it every week, so y'all know by now. Anyway, you guys go out and have an amazingly awesome week. And I will see you here next Sunday.